to the Real Sports Talk. I'm your host, Vajon, and in this segment today, we're going to be getting into the Seattle Mariners. Currently, they are at the All-Star break right now, which couldn't have come at a better time, so they can get a little break. The Seattle Mariners are currently 45-44 on the season right now, and that will leave them 6 games behind the Texas Rangers and 4 games behind the Baltimore Orioles, who are the leader in the West, or in the wild card currently, The Seattle Mariners are coming off of a series versus the Houston Astros where they took 3 out of 4. Really big series. They honestly probably could have took 4 out of 4. They lost a game 3-2. Basically, if they would have just kept the bats on their shoulders, they could have walked. They would have probably won the game, but they ended up not winning. It's still hard to take 3 out of 4. I know that the Houston Astros are a little depleted right now, and as we get closer to the All-Star break, you will have these big names that will get injuries. Everybody's getting injuries now, it happens every year at about this time. Mike Trout did the exact same thing last year as he did this year, where he's injured now, and who knows, it might be a real injury. They're playing every night, so it could be a real injury, but they always get the injuries though about this time. The Mariners are coming off of a series though before this with the San Francisco Giants, where they took 2 out of 3, which was really impressive as well, and they honestly probably could have took 3 out of 3 there as well. The first game of the series they won 6-5. The next game of the series they won 6-0, and then the last game of the series they lost 2-0. That was coming off of a series versus the Tampa Bay Rays where they took 2 out of 3 as well. Honestly, the Mariners are like just old Mariners. They capitalized on opportunities that were given to them, and I feel like this Mariners team, sometimes they do capitalize, but sometimes they don't. I always felt like, when the Mariners used to go to extra innings, I used to feel like, damn, the Mariners are gonna pull this out for sure. There's no way they don't pull it out. They're gonna get a hit, they're gonna get on base, they're gonna keep the batting order moving. And this year it's been kind of a stalemate. I don't know if they're just trying to hit for the fences, or if there's a chemistry problem in the locker room, or what's really going on, but there's obviously been something that is just not clicked yet this year. Kyle Raleigh made a comment, I want to say about a week ago. He said that it might be the fun factory, but this baseball is not fun. So this was probably 2 weeks ago. And ever since then, the Mariners have been playing really good. They came off of a series though where they lost to Washington, who's probably one of the worst teams in the National League currently, and in baseball. The Nationals, that was just a really disappointing series, and we're not even gonna get too far into that, but the Mariners have been very inconsistent this season. Sometimes they do this thing where you feel like they've turned the corner, and then all of a sudden they revert back to what they were at one point, at the previous point. Since my last video, I said the playoffs are still in contention. We were still in contention for the playoffs. At that time, it wasn't looking as hot, but I believe in the Mariners. This is still the same team as last year. We still got Julio. Now we got Jared Kelenic. We got Ty France. I know Ty France hasn't been batting. He's batting .261 right now with a on-base percentage of .332 and a slugging percentage of .389. We got some dogs, and we got Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez has really been picking it up recently. He's batting at a .250 mark right now, and he's got 15 home runs with 50 RBIs right now. Hopefully he can start heating up as the time progresses and as the summertime starts to come into Seattle. The Seattle Mariners in the next 10 games, they need to win 7 out of the next 10. If they can win 7 out of the next 10, they will be in contention for the playoffs. They will probably overtake Houston at that point. They will be able to be in contention for a good trade. That is the problem right now. If the Mariners go 3-7 out of this break right now, more than likely the Mariners are going to sell, or they're just going to be like next year, or they're not going to take a chance on any rentals. They're not going to take a chance on any long-term players, anything like that. But as I said, if the Mariners come out and go 6-4, 7-3, most definitely the Mariners are going to be in the buying market. They're going to want to get a rental. I don't think they're going to want a long-term rental. They want to be able to to be flexible and to be able to make moves, you know, as they see. But this Mariners team, it can be done, you know, as long as they can, you know, as long as the pitching staff continues to do what the pitching staff has done all year. You know, Luis Castillo, all-star, was one of the only all-stars at first. Greg Kirby has the most wins on the team with a 3.09 ERA. Logan Gilbert's coming off of probably one of his best performances of the year. In his previous outing, going 8 strong innings. This team can do it. Can they click though? That is the problem right now. And you know, they've won 7 out of the last 10, as I said, but they need to go do that again. And you know, can they do it again? And if they can do it again, then I really believe that this is a playoff team. You know, as I said, they are 6 games behind the Texas Rangers, which is doable. They're 4 games in the wild card. That is very doable. You're going to have multiple series with the Texas Rangers. You're going to have probably another series with the Houston Astros. Let's pull up this schedule real quick. I haven't looked really too far in advance, but I know in the next 10 though, we have Detroit for 3, you have Minnesota for 4, Toronto for 3, Minnesota again for 3, and then you have Arizona, Boston, and Los Angeles, and we'll be here all day naming teams for the second half. But this is really doable, especially the next 16 games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mariners went 10-6 in the next, I would say 11-5 in the next 16. That is very doable for the Mariners. They have a home stand right now that they're going to be coming off of. You know, Mariners in the past, they start slow after the All-Star break. I don't know what it is. The Mariners always start slow. I don't know. It must just be Seattle. It must be the weather there. I don't know. But they always start slow. But this is possible. I definitely can see the Seattle Mariners pulling this out here. We just gotta have faith in them, you know. We got Julio, we got all the dogs, you know, and they're gonna definitely do it, you know. And yeah, that is my Seattle Mariners take. I